In the dusty little village of Rampur lived a boy named Ryu, a bright soul with dreams bigger than the open sky, but habits lazier than a buffalo resting on a hot afternoon. Every morning, his mother shouted from the kitchen, telling him the sun was already burning the earth. Yet Ryu always mumbled for 5 more minutes and slipped back into sleep for another hour. He talked about wanting to achieve great things. He admired the successful people in town, the shopkeepers, the teachers, even the constable who walked proudly in his uniform. But Ryu never stayed consistent with anything he started. One day he thought of exercising, the next day he quit. One day he made plans to study, the next he was flying kites on the roof. Ryu had dreams, but no discipline. One quiet evening, while wandering near the edge of the village, he met Gopal Kaka, a retired army man known for his strict routine. Every morning at 4 a.m., he swept his courtyard, did push-ups, read books, and worked in his garden like a soldier following orders. Ryu watched him with curiosity. Why does he do all this? He has no boss, no school, no pressure. Finally, one morning, Ryu couldn't hold his question any longer. He asked Kaka, "Why do you follow the same routine every single day? Doesn't it get boring? Aren't you tired?" Gopal Kaka smiled, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and said gently, "Beta, habits are like farmers. What you plant today grows tomorrow. You may not see the results now, but one day these habits will either feed you or starve you." Ryu didn't completely understand, but the words stuck with him. That night, he lay awake, thinking about how many things he had started and never finished. What if success wasn't about luck at all? What if it was simply about habits? The next morning, before the sun even rose, Ryu forced himself out of bed. His body begged him to go back to sleep, but he remembered Gopal Kaka's words. He washed his face, tied his shoes, and went for a run. He could barely make it 200 meters before gasping like he had run across a desert, but he didn't stop. The next day, he ran again and again. By the 7th day, his legs ached, but something had changed. He felt stronger. He added another habit, studying for 1 hour every day. No excuses, no announcements. He simply showed up for himself. Weeks turned into months. His body felt lighter, his mind sharper, and energy flowed through him from morning to night. One afternoon under the old banyan tree, he caught himself smiling without realizing it. Discipline was becoming natural. Even his friends noticed. One day, his friend Sonu asked Ryu, "How did you change so much? You used to be the king of laziness." Ryu laughed and said, "I didn't change in a day. I just repeated small actions every day until they became part of me." Soon, an opportunity arrived at government job recruitment that included a fitness test and a written exam. Ryu applied. On the test day, many boys from the village gathered. Some were overconfident, some were nervous, but Ryu remained calm. When the whistle blew, many sprinted quickly but burned out fast. Ryu kept a steady, controlled pace. Months of discipline carried him forward. Motivation wasn't running with him anymore, his habits were. He cleared the fitness round. Then the written exam came. Others crammed the night before, but Ryu was prepared. 1 hour a day for months had built a strong foundation. He cleared the written exam too. Weeks later, a letter arrived at his doorstep. His mother opened it with trembling hands, and her eyes widened. Ryu stood frozen as she whispered the words he had always dreamed of hearing. "Congratulations, you have been selected." Tears filled his eyes as he said softly, "Ma, your son did it." She hugged him tightly. The village celebrated his success, but the happiest person among them all was Gopal Kaka. With pride in his eyes, he said, "See, beta motivation starts you. But habits keep you going when motivation fades." The truth was clear now. Big change never demands big effort. Real transformation grows from small habits repeated daily, not once, not for a week, but until they become part of who you are. You don't need to change your whole life at once. Start with a single small habit. Walk for 10 minutes. Read 5 pages. Do 10 push-ups. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. These tiny actions shape your future. Your habits write your destiny. Choose them wisely. And if this story inspired you, don't let it stop here. Start your first habit today, no matter how small, because small steps done consistently create the biggest changes. And if you enjoyed this story, don't you forget to subscribe to the Mindful Tools and tap the bell icon so you never miss another life-changing story.